Hey, girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your JOB? Because you're a C.A.T.S, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow podcast.
Welcome to the Big Meow podcast brought to you by C.A.T.S Network. I'm your host, Angela Howard. And today I'm with Bita Shahidi. She is a doctor of physical therapy as a certified life coach and owns a business called Love Your Life Design. Welcome, Bita. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So your audience, of course, is coaches, authors, thought leaders, and speakers. Mm-hmm. And we're so curious. Tell us about your Love Your Life Design business.
Okay. So my love of physical therapy honestly kind of bled into it. I love improving people's lives, and it started with physical therapy because I wanted to help them return the quality of life that they had or achieve a better quality of life through getting over their physical dysfunction. And that inspired me to help them also achieve their life goals and improve the quality of their life in that way by achieving their goals and dreams. So that inspired me to create my business, to have a much vaster audience and also be able to help in a much bigger way. And so I created Love Your Life Design. And the way I did that is I certified myself with Mary Morris's life coaching program at Brave Thinking Institute. You may be familiar with her. And her message really resonated with me. And once I got certified and trained in her program, I wanted to also use my own experience along with her message to help other people achieve their goals and dreams in life. So that's where the name came from. And that's how I got inspired.
So I want to ask you, because I'm a somatic movement therapist, and at one point I was a Pilates teacher, and I know that when they came for their one-on-ones, it was everything else in their life that we talked about, you know.
Exactly.
It's just natural, right? And that launched me into coaching. And what I wanted to ask you, do you still use physical therapy principles? Is part of your coaching working with their physical body also?
Oh gosh, I'm glad you asked that. I do use my physical therapy principles in coaching because I realized I was doing the same thing. A lot of obstacles in my patients, why they were not achieving their goals was the mental paradigms they had. And so, I used my abilities to coach them through those mental paradigms to achieve their physical goals. Well, I use the same principles in coaching. And sometimes the way that I coach my clients in physical therapy and create a plan of care for them and meet with them and I'm on the same path trying to navigate the obstacles with them to achieve their physical goals. I use exactly the same pattern for helping people achieve their life goals. So the two are very much meshed in. I use my experience in that area, which is 20 years of doing physical therapy in my coaching, and it's been incredible.
So I got to ask you that age-old question of the chicken, the egg. What comes first, physical ailment or the thought that makes a physical ailment? Or does the physical ailment make the thought? Give me your philosophy on that.
I think they both can cause each other, but there's always a mental, emotional element behind every physical pain. And I've noticed that in my experience as a physical therapist. So when I interview my patients, I really try to dig in and get to know them and see what's been going on in their life and a little bit of their background. And that really helps me in coaching them, getting their physical ailments, trying to not so much cure, but help them manage sometimes their physical ailments by working with them in that capacity. So there's always a mental, emotional aspect to every physical pain I've noticed. And sometimes the physical pain can cause mental, emotional ailment It can cause depression. It can cause anxiety. You can't do the things you love to do, you used to do. And now that can affect your life going forward. So it goes
I
both.
totally get it. Yeah, the body gives us clues, right, to
Absolutely.
the other mental and emotional things going on.
Absolutely.
So share with us a recent success story. Someone who came to you one way and has, left your program a different person.
Well, I had a lady as my client, and she came to me as a single mother. She had 2 kids. She was renting a room in somebody's house, and she had 2 jobs supporting her kids. So she had a day job as a seamstress and a night job as a waitress. She barely got to see her kids, and it was a tough situation. She was making it through. She wasn't getting any kind of child support from her previous marriage. So really it was all her. And she wanted a better life for her kids. Not only she wanted a better life for her kids, she wanted to be able to spend more time with them. And when she came to me, she said, honestly, it's not like I want to be a millionaire or anything. I just wish that at least I had my own house. If I could just have my own house and my own space and give my kids some space, that would be wonderful. At least that's something I can give to them. And so, I listened to her and listened to her story and got to know her a little bit. And long story short, I said to her one day, I said, what if it was all possible? What if it was possible? What would you do? And she said, well, there's no way I could afford having a house. I'm only paying $500 a month for this place. How is that even possible? I said, what would you do if the possibility was there? And I got her to think outside of the box. And so I said, what would it hurt if you just go and look for the house that you think you want? I know, just forget about the fact that you don't have the money. Just go look for it. Take a step. Take an action step towards something with whatever that you have. Where you are with what you have, take a step towards your dream. So she did. She looked. After a couple of weeks, she came excited. She said, I actually found the exact same house that I would love to have. But again, what's the use? I don't have the money. So, and again, I went back to my usual phrase, because I don't tell my clients what to do. I let them think it through and think outside of the box. And I said, well, what if there's a possibility? What if there's a way? And she came up with the idea of writing a letter to the owner of that house and explaining her situation. And she said, what if I can help you do some renovations in here? Would you just would you just let me pay my $500 and I, in return, will do some of the remodeling work for you, because I have some experience in that and I have friends that can help me. And at the end of the day, the owner of the house agreed. So she got her house, but that's not the end of the story. As I stay in contact with my clients, I found out that she started her own business as a seamstress, and she quit her waitressing job, and she ended up being able to buy the house. So
that's quite a success story.
That is. And I was so proud of her, and she did all the work. And really all I did, and I tell my clients, all I do, I'm just a guide. I'm just guiding you. You do the work. I am just that vehicle. And honestly, I'm so proud of her. She's the one that took her action steps. She's the one that listened and focused on her vision and on her dream. And so many better things came out of it, more than what she was even dreaming of and wishing for. So as I always say, design your dream and go for it.
Yeah. And it does beg a question though, because I'm sitting here thinking, you're in business, so I'm going to approach your story from a business side. If she didn't have, very much money or very much time, how did you fit into her life? Because that's a tough decision to make, because on the Maslowian needs, you're kind of up here and she was just down here with her, just taking care of her kids, putting a roof over their head. So from a business perspective, because I'm saying this because we all as coaches and people who want to help, you see these people that you really know you could help, but they can't afford you or have the time. How do you bridge the gap? How did you bridge the gap for her?
Well, she had to make a decision, and we had to comfort. She had to have a desire and a decision to make this happen. And again, that was a conversation we had in the beginning. I said, again, it was about possibilities. Anything is possible. If you really want to do this, we can work it out. And so because I saw the desire in her, we made an arrangement to create the time and the money for her to be able to go through the coaching and go through the program. And, I adjust my program a little bit to help people. It's, at the end of the day, that's what we coaches do. We do it for the love of helping other people live their dream life. So who am I to be so stern when I saw the passion and desire in her? So I made some adjustments and we were able to fit in, and she's the one who made adjustment in her schedule. Right. Yeah. To have our sessions. And we worked financially, how we can do that. We went into a payment system and we worked it out, what she could and what she could not do. And we made it work. It all worked at the end of the day. So yeah, that's a success story for anybody out there thinking that they don't have the time and money to hire a coach, because it really helps to have that third party experience and knowledge, and also somebody looking at your life that you're inside of that can really help propel you outside the box, as you said. Absolutely. The circumstances should not dictate what you can and what you cannot do, including money, finances, time. All that really you can work around. You can find a solution if you really want something bad enough, and at least have a conversation with a coach. Right. Because you never know what would come out of that, right? Instead of just assuming you can't afford it or you can't do it. Yeah. So. Well, you're incredibly inspiring, Bita, and I really appreciate you spending time with us today. I know you're a busy woman, but sharing with us your philosophy and your wonderful stories. So thank you so much. How do we find you? You can find me on my website. Again, it's www.loveyourlifedesign.com. You can also find me on Facebook. I have a group, Love Your Life Design. So if you go under my name, Bita Shahidi, you will find my group. You are welcome to join my group. I have weekly live streams and content that I post on there. So those are the two easiest ways that you can find me, and we'll go from there. Oh, thank you so much for joining us today on the Big Meow, and we wish you all the best in your future as you navigate this wonderful life of yours. Thank you. I appreciate it, and thank you for having me. Absolutely. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by C.A.T.S Network. If you liked what you heard, please take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. You can also join our network filled with positivity and possibility. Visit www.catsnetworking.com to join us and learn more, together with your magical, motivated, and mystical new friends at C.A.T.S Network. Let's transform 1 million lives with your message. Are you feeling isolated, sitting at home in your PJs? Or perhaps you're tired of the comfy sweatpants with holes in them that are hidden just below the camera? I mean, you could puke at the thought of another day of Zoom meetings and reporting to your BOSS. Do you want freedom from your home office desk or the office cubicle? Do you want freedom from your current career? Or are you frustrated that your online biz dreams are going nowhere? It's all too overwhelming. Where do you start? All the tech, the choices, and your message. Yep, I said your message, your brand, your voice. What is it? Do you even know what that means? Do you need a biz coach but don't want to invest the big bucks? Let's face it, being a solopreneur is lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. And here's a solution. Join C.A.T.S Network. C.A.T.S Network is a woman-only membership community exclusively available to you, the life coach or executive coach, the author, the thought leader, or the public speaker. If you identify with this list or want to work on adding some of these to your skill set, C.A.T.S is the place for you. Check us out at www.catsnetworking.com. That's C-A-T-S networking.com. Because let's face it, cats are better together.